Now looking at our kettlebell snatch, okay? So this is one of the more technical exercises that we teach. Don't expect people to get this one straight away. There's obviously a few different teaching points to it, but as long as they're safely getting it with a safe weight to start off with. So making sure you're starting with that inside corner of that kettlebell, so you're really getting used to that grip position now, okay? So you might want to even, just to start off with when you're teaching clients, get them to swing the kettlebell up a couple of times. Obviously you're going through a bit of the one arm swing, maybe even get up into the high row a little bit. And the last bit is up and over. It's really important when you get to that top point here, you're not finishing in this position. You want to be finishing right up next to the ear, so bicep next to the ear. But it's also important that that wrist is neutral and it's right up against the edge of that kettlebell. So if you watch me do the kettlebell snatch and it doesn't land and it lands like that, you'll see that wrist and the amount of pressure of the wrist. Really important, if it doesn't land, adjust it. Then coming back through, nice and strong through the hips and up. Even having that pause, that half second at the top, coming back through and then back up. Obviously looking at dropping the kettlebell down, so you bring it closer, a little corkscrew through, back on that 45 degrees through your leg, and flip it up and over, and getting it landing safely in that top position for the kettlebell snatch. Making sure the power is coming through your hip drive, up and through, so you're not throwing the kettlebell out over the front like that. Make sure you're bringing it close to the body on the way down, and really driving up and through for the kettlebell snatch. Bringing it back down, and then putting it to the ground. So making sure that you're not finishing the snatch and then whiffing the kettlebell down in the ground like that. Obviously not good for the back position. So safety check, back through the front, nice and safely back down to the ground. And that's our kettlebell snatch. So just to add to the kettlebell snatch, just giving you a front on version. So again, making sure you've got that starting point, which you're getting good at now, that grip position. So remembering we're tracking the kettlebell up the center line of the body. So talking about the center line, straight through an imaginary line through the center of the body. You want to make sure you're coming up and tracking through that with most of your moves. Even when you're pressing and all those other things, making sure that the kettlebell is tracking through that imaginary center line. So I'm not doing the snatch out here and ripping it back around, out, and back through the midline. So if you watch the kettlebell, comes through that center of the body, up and over. Coming back through, down, and then up. Really making sure you're getting that nice strong hip hinge. Power comes through your hips. If you ever see the kettlebell snatch, you stop using your hips. It's just a lot of shoulder in there. Obviously I can do it, but it's just taking out the benefits of the posterior chain, really coming through and driving up. Again, making sure you're really getting that kettlebell landing nice and strongly on that wrist. So bringing it back down the front of the body, and always safely back down the ground and finishing the exercise. Kettlebell snatch.